I'm hoping we all know and love Jeff Kaplan, who is currently one of the most influential game developers working inside of Blizzard Entertainment. He's somewhat of a celebrity now amongst gamers, and especially Overwatch players. But his story of being VP of Blizzard Entertainment might surprise some people, especially in today's cultural climate where offending someone is as easy as tweeting, "Learn to code." Jeff, like the rest of us, was a hardened gamer forged from sweat, dedication, caffeine, and dungeon crawling. Before joining Blizzard Entertainment, Jeff was a guild leader for a guild called Legacy of Steel, whose members primarily played a game called EverQuest. For the younger viewers, EverQuest was a huge MMO in 1999, and especially for its time because it set the stage for future titles like World of Warcraft and Star Wars Galaxies. At the time, Jeff was known as Tigole Bitties, which has kind of an edgy tone to it on its own right. Not only was Jeff in charge of the guild, but he ran the guild website, where he would post updates on raids, suggested changes to the game, as well as other EverQuest and guild-related improvements. Here on the Legacy of Steel forum is where Jeff Tigole really made a name for himself, for not only knowing the game meticulously, but also completely trashing the game developers and the decisions made around the experience of the game. Here, on the Legacy of Steel forums, you can find some of the greatest posts ever made by who is now the VP of Blizzard Entertainment, a company that's valued at over $7 billion now. Tigole, aka Jeff Kaplan, not only completely dismembers the developers and people working on EverQuest at the time, but he includes exact changes and suggestions that can be made in an attempt to help them improve the game's goddamn buggy, bullshit, half-assed encounters, as he put it. I'll now read from Saturday, April 13th, 2002, from a web archive taken from the original Legacy of Steel forum. These are not my words, but the words of Jeff Tigole Bitties Kaplan before he ever started working for Blizzard. It's because of these posts that Jeff was able to acquire enough attention to procure at least an interview with the then Blizzard Entertainment brass, which in turn jettisoned him into gaming history, as he then went on to not only co-create World of Warcraft, but also become the face of a multi-million-dollar game in Overwatch, which has been known to not only frown on toxic behavior, they actually take actions against those who speak, act, and write with the same tone as Jeff once did. A quick disclaimer, I am not, nor was I ever, an EverQuest player, so I do apologize for any mispronunciations that I might have while reading these forum posts. Here we go. Saturday, April 13th, 2002. Fix your goddamn buggy bullshit half-assed encounters. The amount of time we've dedicated to get our keys to see this guy die and take our turn at the Emperor is just sick. To finally see blood die only to have the entire raid DT'd from anywhere in the room was simply an insult. Blood dies, there are 2 earrings on the corpse, yet no matter where you are in the room, the Emperor DTs. So congrats, rot on those. It's cheap enough to make a mob DT in the first place, but to have his aggro radius extended the entire room is ridiculous. So let me get this straight. And this is how you guys envisioned this in San Diego. You spent months farming keys to get up the room. Months farming Shazar's Bane's weapons. And the recipe is where? You kill Blood while dealing with 8 other snakes in the room. And immediately after that fight, you're supposed to engage the death touching from anywhere in the room Emperor along with 8 snakes? Whoever came up with the sheer fisting of an encounter can go fuck themselves. Do me a favor so I don't waste my guild's time on this jackass shitfest again. Send me an email at tigole@legacyofsteel.net when you decide to A, implement an encounter that wasn't designed by a retarded chimp chained to a cubicle, B, get a quality assurance department, C, actually beta test the fucking thing, and D, patch it live. And for God's sakes, do it in the order I laid out for you. Don't worry, I won't charge you a consulting fee on that one. And for good luck, you might as well pull your heads out of your asses. While you're at it, rename the game to Beta Quest since you've used up all your allotted false advertising karma on the bizarre and user interface game of 01. Fix the Emperor encounter. Fix Siru. Rethink your time sync bullshit. Fix all the buggy motherfucking encounters. I suggest you let whoever made the Borrow one do this since that guy apparently laid off the crack the rest of you are smoking. Fix the VT key quest. Fix VT. Just guessing it's fucked considering your track record. Don't have the resources to fix this stuff? Move the entire Planes of Power team over to fixing Shadows of Lucelyn. And do it now. If you don't fix Lucelyn, you jackasses will be the only ones playing Planes of Power. I mentioned before that not only was he extremely critical and extremely abrasive with his language, but he also was actually trying to help the game. He's putting forth a lot of advice on how to fix these issues. The next one is from Monday, April 15th, 2002. It's called Delivered as Promise, and it goes like this. Sometimes you just have to design your own high-end encounter when you find the ones in the game lacking a certain critical element. No, by critical element, I do not mean rare drops off of rare spawns. I do not mean rare drops off of green mobs. I do not mean the necessity to raise otherwise useless trade skills. I do not mean long, boring camps. I do not mean endless farming. By critical element, I mean the one true critical element that belongs in every game. Fun. Fun. F-U-N. Such a simple concept and yet apparently hard to grasp for some people. So rather than waste another night doing the long, tedious bullshit to increase our Uber stats in SOL, aka quick, stall 'em, this shit ain't finished yet, but sure glad we made the Christmas deadline, we headed off to Vishan's Peak, where it's easy to feel like a god by pressing F8 and A. Have we cleared VP before? Dozens of times. Do we need loot from VP? Not really. Is killing a 32k dragon a challenge? Not in the least. But where the fun came in was setting the goal of posting that money shot for all you cack suckers to enjoy. You could really tell how knowledgeable and passionate Jeff is for EverQuest. He knows the ins and the outs of the games. He knows what's going to make it fun. He knows how to balance the certain situations. And so you can really tell how, why and how this transitioned over to Blizzard so well. So the next one we're going to look at is his final entry in the Legacy of Steel website. And it's him right before he goes off to start working on Warcraft. And, the rest is history. He's probably a millionaire in his own right, and he's one of the most important figures in the history of Blizzard Entertainment. So let's jump into it. Thursday, April 18th, 2002. This week I accepted a position as Associate Game Designer with Blizzard Entertainment. Specifically, I will be designing quests for World of Warcraft, Blizzard's MMORPG based on the popular Warcraft series. In addition to my duties as quest designer, I will also be expected to contribute in helping design the endgame content for World of Warcraft. The reason I'm sharing this information, besides the fact that I have a misogynistic love of reading rants and flames about myself, is because I know that the fans of this site are hardcore MMORPG fans. The readers of this site have also come to know my personal opinions on what constitutes a fun gaming experience versus what feels like a complete waste or poorly designed encounter. You've all read my opinions on such things as tedious key camps, obvious time sinks devoid of any story or linear narratives, quests which reward the lucky over the skilled, and quest rewards which are out of sync with the amount of time and effort required to complete them. I hope that my association with World of Warcraft will serve to comfort MMORPG fans that one of us is on the other side of the fence, looking out for the interests of the player. The collective vision behind World of Warcraft is what really won me over. The folks working on the game are focused on making the world of Azeroth fun for all kinds of players, ranging from the casual gamer to hardcore people like you and me. To put it bluntly, they don't want you reading a book or watching TV while playing the game at the same time. The game is captivating enough where other distractions aren't necessary. Blizzard's desire to provide well-designed, high-end content will prove to be a breath of fresh air for the readers of this site. Unfortunately, I cannot go into detail at this time, but I can say that there are ideas discussed for the hardcore endgame player which are nothing short of groundbreaking. You guys, the fans of this site, you know how discerning I am when it comes to uber content in a game. Trust me, you have to look forward to it. And to top it all off, the game simply looks amazing. I was blown away by what I saw. MMORPG fans have some very exciting things dawning on the horizon. So with all that going on with me, you'll have to excuse any lapses and updates for this site. I will try my hardest to give you slackers something to read while you should be working, but in the meantime, there's a whole world of NPCs that need to learn the words cacksacker and motherfucker and the like. Although something tells me I'm already in trouble with the boss. I love this shit, guys. I really do. This is why Jeff's the best. He not only knows the games in and out, but he's passionate about it, and he's been passionate about it for years. It just goes to show you, man. And I love reading this, and I hope you learned a little bit about not only the history of World of Warcraft, but some of what went into maybe some Overwatch. And just kind of seen how far he's come. He's one of us, man. So, yeah, catch you guys on the other side. Peace.